Hello, Lancaster Seminary community. Hello, students and faculty and staff. I'm very excited to be here with the Reverend Dr. David Rowe, who will become the interim president of the seminary as of July 1st. And we are recording this interview in advance so that we can provide it for you just before he arrives and kind of symbolically pass the baton from me to him. I'm just delighted to get to know him a little bit over the telephone already. And so the purpose is for you to know him a little bit better, for him to say hello to you, and for us to actually mark this important transition in the seminary's life. So I'm sitting in my office, and you can see a decor of boxes behind me.
They're getting taller every time we speak.
That's right. They're taller than the last time we talked. So this is to reassure Dr. Rowe that I'm actually packing up to leave.
Don't take anything I'm going to need, though.
Well, I hadn't thought about that. This is a beautiful office to work in. It's a little challenging to set up a Zoom interview because it has so many windows on three sides that the boxes actually help block out some of the glare from some of the windows for a Zoom interview. But I was telling Dr. Rowe that when it snows in the wintertime, it's so beautiful because with windows on three sides, you feel like you're in a snow globe. And the next email I got back from him started out, snow, question mark, exclamation point. So I just want to acknowledge the fact that this may be something that Dr. Rowe is not so used to. He is from Houston, Texas, not known for snow. He went to Emory University and Georgia State for his PhD, and Georgia's not known for snow. Then he was a college president in Louisiana. Not much snow.
So there.
And now he lives in Florida. Not much snow there too. That's
Zero.
where you go to get away from the snow. So as a little welcome gift, something that he might really need, I have a pair of...
Oh, that's good.
And I think you recognize that these are snow...
Those are gloves, right?
Yes, these are not just regular gloves, they are snow gloves. And sometimes we even get a little silly and we dress up our bottles like they're ready to go skiing. So
that's fun. That's what I'm going to need. I've never lived too far north of I-20, so I need all the warmth I can get.
Well, I think you'll enjoy it, especially when you're sitting in this office. So maybe we could start our interview. Oh, and another thing I wanted to mention before, when we've talked, I've been introduced to your dog named Zeus.
Oh yeah.
And, I thought that the community ought to see Zeus as well. So do you think that he would...
Let's see if I can get him. I've got a little bribe for him. Let's see if I can... Zeus. This is Zeus. I'll turn the camera down a little bit.
Oh, there he goes. What
That's a Ritz cracker.
Sweet looking dog. That's a lovely dog. He looks like he belongs here in Pennsylvania. And
he's better bred for the snow than he is for the sunshine. So
right.
In Florida.
Well, and
for sure. He's a great Pyrenees.
A great Pyrenees, right, with a very majestic name of Zeus. We love pets here, so.
Good.
Well, let me move on to a few questions that will help our people to know you better. How did you first hear about Lancaster Seminary, and what interested you in coming here?
Well, a good friend of mine and colleague, Bill Nelson, is working with the registry, whom the board employed to help find the interim president. And Bill and I had worked together on a number of other projects, and he had asked me to take a look at the opportunity and see if it might be a good fit. And when I learned more about the seminary, I actually thought it would be a potentially good fit. And I just was taken by your mission, your vision, and was really interested in learning more about the community. And the interview really proved out that the community is a loving, caring, visionary community, and really attracted me to this opportunity. And I'm looking forward to becoming a part of it.
Well, that's wonderful. I heard wonderful things about the interview that you had with our trustees and our faculty, staff members, and a student, and they felt they could sense your enthusiasm and a good match for us. So looks very promising. Well, let me ask you about interim ministry. What would be some of your goals as an interim president?
Yeah, so I think that's an interesting thing for us all to keep in mind. That maybe the primary metaphor I might use is a bridge between your leadership and that of the president who is to come, and to make sure that we knit those two eras of the seminary's life together in a healthy and helpful way. I wouldn't want people to think that meant we were going to be static. I think that higher education in general is changing. Theological education is changing too, and we'll have to stay on the move and continue to press forward with another number of initiatives already underway, and make sure that we bring the seminary to a place where it needs to be for the new leadership. And your last few months have been among the most unusual few months for any seminary president or college president anywhere. And I'm sure that the next few months will be unusual for all of us as well. And so along with the rest of the industry, we're going to be inventing what it means to do graduate education in this type of environment.
That's true. That's true. And I love the metaphor of a bridge, because that helps us really visualize the two sides, and appreciate that.
Sure.
So can you talk about how you envision connecting with the community in a time of social distancing?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, so I will have hopefully next week I'll have a chance to see the seminary for the first time in 3 dimensions. It's only been through video, and all of my interviews have been through Zoom, and my meetings with senior leaders and others have been through Zoom. So I know that's sort of the way that the world works now. Who would have known 3 months ago that that was the way that we would connect? And I think in a community like Lancaster, it's so important to have that personal touch. And if we can't be together, maybe we can be 6 feet apart. And if we can't be 6 feet apart, then maybe we can be online like you and I are now, and remain connected. But I do think we're going to have to lean into this and be more proactive in reaching out to each other, because we're going to be so separated and relatively isolated during this time.
Well, I think you really expressed it very well, that we have to strive to stay in touch in other ways. And that's a hallmark of our Lancaster Seminary community too. We're kind of a high-touch community. Everyone is known. No one hides under the radar screen. It's a very personal place. And we do pride ourselves in an embodied presence with one another. And so it is challenging. And the place also matters. I'm so delighted that you're going to be physically present as much as possible, because the buildings are beautiful. They're handcrafted. Millwork in the wood is magnificent. And handcrafted is kind of a metaphor for our education, because it's not cookie cutter, rectangular industrial buildings.
Right.
It's the beauty of something that is handmade, that's artful, that's even whimsical at times, expresses who we are and the delight we have in being in this particular location with this particular community. So it'll be wonderful for you to experience it physically as well.
I'm looking forward to it.
Right. Well, thank you so much for this time together. And we will look forward to the change and to your leadership. I do have to say one thing that impresses me so much about you is what a good listener you are.
Well,
And I
thanks.
think that you will have a lot to say, but you're also very careful in the way that you hear us. And I know that our students, our faculty, our trustees, our staff will appreciate how much you are authentically interested in us and in the mission of the school.
It's going to be very important for me, especially my first days, to listen and learn. And I hope folks will be willing to share with me so that I can quickly understand and come to know in a deep way what the Lancaster community is all about.
Well, thank you. And blessings to you and your travels. And we look forward to being with you.
Thank you. And thank you for your leadership, Carol. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, we'll say goodbye for now then.
All right. Take care.